All right, good morning, Rampage family. Welcome to Taylor, Michigan, here in the greater Detroit area. First game today is a matchup between Rampage boys and the Cleveland Barons. These two teams have played once before, just at our last travel tournament weekend in Minnesota. And in that game, Cleveland came out on top by a score of 4-2. It was also an incredibly physical, very rough game, and I expect it will be about the same. Hopefully hang on just a second. All right, sorry about that. My expert camera crew runner, Miss Sonia Shields, is on her way up, and you can't see it in the video here, but they've got a cool little platform up here for us that's kind of nice, but there are also some posts that are just a little bit in the way, at least down to the right side over there. But it's also you have to climb up a ladder, and it's a relatively small area. So we were just talking over our game plan of how we're gonna play nice together up here today. But anyway, yeah, playing against Cleveland this morning, and hopefully the boys are ready to go and ready to get a little bit of maybe revenge after dropping the game a few weekends ago. Warm-up time is done. Boys are regrouping and giving each other a pep talk. I believe I heard that we're going to have an addition to the lineup this morning. Mason Root, who some of you have been around the Rampage for a little while, maybe recognize him from last season. He has played in Colorado for quite a while now. He was with the T-Birds for a while, played with us recently, and then to begin this season, he's been playing down in Pueblo. I haven't had my wits about me to figure out if he's out there, what number he is. We will figure that out soon if that is in fact the case.
He is 52, I think, or 50.
Okay, yeah. Yep, you're right. Yep. So he's one of the two players that won't have a name on the back of his jersey. He will be playing in 52 today. And so we're happy to have him joining us today out on the ice to get us started for period number one. Who do we got? We have Freitas, Whittingham, Dormer, Butler, and White, and Ryder Shields in between the pipes. 17 minutes up on the board, which makes me think that we'll probably have the format where we get one ice cut, and it'll be about halfway through the second period. That's my guess based on the time that's on the clock. And here we go. Cleveland wins the draw. They feed it through. Doesn't connect. They wave off the icing. Play will continue. Cleveland pulls it out of the corner. Comes up top of the slot. Trent White gets in front of that shot. It's going to bounce out to neutral ice. Cleveland regroups at neutral. They're going to make their way to the near side. Chip it through in the Rampage zone. White picks it up, sends it off the wall, back out to neutral. Little back and forth. Freitas tries to dump it in. Body's in the way. It's going to come back to neutral ice. Butler turns around, sends it to the near side. Pass intercepted. Cleveland coming back into the Rampage zone. I thought he was offside. Shot taken, and Shields turns it aside. Puck goes into the corner. The net does come off by a little bit. So it's going to be one of those kind of tournaments. Butler gets there, tries to send it up, steal by Cleveland in the corner down low, chipped by Dormer. Cleveland sends it back down low into the corner, feeds it out front. White with a steal. White turns. He's going to skate it up and out of the zone on the near side. Takes the red line and chips it in. Rampage getting the change. Cleveland picks it up behind their own net. Stretch pass doesn't connect, and that goes for icing. So with 15:47 left in period number 1, we'll have a face-off back in the Cleveland zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Bennett, and Bisley. Cleveland comes up with a draw. Drexel gets there, tries to feed it out front. Banyan just can't quite wrangle it in. Puck back behind the net. Drexel ties things up behind the net. Down low in the corner on the far side, Banyan comes in to help out. Drexel sends it up to the point to Bennett, over to Bisley. Bisley sends it down the boards. Banyan centers it, nobody home. Cleveland comes skating up and out of their zone. Pass across to the far side, doesn't connect. That should be icing, and is. So with 15:19 left in period number 1, we'll get a face-off in the Cleveland zone and a change of players on the ice. On the ice, we've got Judkins, Flanagan, Sarver, Espirito, and Fuhrer. Puck tied up down low. Sarver's in the mix. And goes down low. Judkins pulls it out, tries to center it out front. Ends up bouncing and ends up back in the corner. Cleveland clears the zone with it. It's into the Rampage zone down low. Cleveland pulls it off the wall, makes a quick move. Shot taken, Shields with a save. Another shot, Shields with another save. Puck tied up on the near side wall. Ends up going down low. Up the wall on the far side to the point. Fed back down low. Comes up, quick tip, up to the point. Cleveland sends it in deep. Cleveland pulls it off the wall on the far side, feeds it up the blue line. Shot deflects, ends up wide of the net. Fed out front, and Fuhrer scoops it up and sends it in. It goes out of the zone. Sarver with the quick steal. He's in the zone on the far side. He's going to dump it. Rest of his line mates getting a change, and now Sarver's going to go for a change as well. Cleveland comes skating up the near side into the zone. White picks it up. He's going to send it off the far side for Roberts. Roberts wrangles it in. He's into the zone. Shot deflects off a stick, ends up in the near corner. Up the wall on the near side, but not out. Foster drives it in and take away, and Cleveland come back the other way. Into the zone on the far side. Puck ends up down low in the corner on the far side, and Cleveland's going to send it up to the near side point. Shot, and Shields deflects it, and it goes up into the netting and out of play. 13:35 left in period number 1. And looks like we'll get a change of all 5. So out on the ice, we've got Bennett, Bisley, Whittingham, Friedis, and Dormer. Bisley sends it over to the far side, Bennett up the wall. A little back and forth at neutral. Friedis gets the puck back. He's going to skate it up on the far side, chip it into the zone. Dormer's first in. Feeds it around to the near side corner. Barron's player gets there first. They're going to turn in the corner, and then Friedis takes the puck away, sends it up, and Bennett keeps it in at the blue line, back down into the corner down low. Puck behind the Barons net, bouncing around, and it looks like a Barons player is going to pick it up. They feed it up the far side wall. Into the Rampage zone on the near side. Bennett drives down the wall. Tied up in the corner, down low. Up the wall, and Cleveland sends it up to the point. Shot goes off the body, ends up back in the corner. Dormer gets there, feeds it up the wall, but not out. Quick turnaround, and it's bouncing, and now Bisley wrangles it in. He's going to chip it up and out, and this is going to be icing. So 12:38 left in period number 1. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Espirito. Drexel, Whitted, Root, Espirito, and Fuhrer. So Mason Root for his first shift this season, back in a Rampage uniform. Fed back down low into the corner on the far side. Up the wall, but Barons send it back down low. Fewer sends it hard around the boards up to the near side, held in by the Barons. Fed, it's going to bounce around, bounces out front, and a quick shot. Shields with a nice save. Rims around the boards to the near side, up to the point. Fed back down low. Whitted gets there momentarily. Puck down low in the corner. It's going to go rim around to the far side. Bouncing around. Whitted's going to turn and clear it. Root is in on the forecheck. And Barons turn it around. The rest of the Rampage players going for a change. Puck bounces down low. Flanagan sends it over to Root on the near side. Pass across for Flanagan's just behind him, and it's in the zone offside. So with 11:39 left in period number 1, faceoff's going to come outside the Baron zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Banyan, Flanagan, Butler, and White. Tied up on the draw. Barons advance it into the Rampage zone. White sends it back, bounces up in the air, and we've got a hand pass. Flanagan pulled it out of the air and was the first one to touch up. Or, I'm sorry, Sarver was the first one to touch up. 11:27 left in period number 1. Face off back in the Rampage zone. Same crew as before. Puck goes up the wall. Flanagan's going to poke it out. Barons get there first in their own zone. Send it to the near side and through. They're going to wave off icing. Play will continue. Shields sends the puck around the boards to the far side. Flanagan gets there and chips it. It comes up and out of the zone. Back into the Rampage zone now. White has to come back for it. Takes it to the far side, up the wall, off of Flanagan into the Barons zone. Rampage getting a change. Robertson on the forecheck. Barons come up the wall on the near side. Clear the zone with it. Bisley has it at neutral ice. He's going to send it back. Goes off of Judkin's stick into the zone. Barons pick it up. They're going to clear it to neutral ice. Into the Rampage zone. They were offside. So we get a whistle. We'll have a stoppage. The faceoff would be outside the Rampage zone with 10:39 left in period number 1. Rampage win the draw over the near side. Bisley gets there, turns on the wall, sends it up to Roberts. Roberts clears the zone with it. Cleveland picks it up. A quick poke check, keeps it in the zone. Foster turns, takes a shot. Deflected up, ends up in the corner. Tied up down low. Roberts is in there. Judkins comes in to help out. Barons turn with it. They're going to skate up and out of the zone, send it across to the far side. In the Rampage zone. The pass in, stole by Bisley up front, and now able to clear the zone up to Roberts. He turns and sends the puck into the Barons zone. Blows the tire down low, just right there in the corner. Barons coming back the other direction. Into the Rampage zone now. Puck bouncing around, ends up on the near wall. Dormer picks it up. He's going to skate with it, sends a pass across for Freitas. Freitas tries to wrangle it in the zone, holds up on the wall on the far side. Centering pass ends up in Dormer skates. Comes back to Freitas on the wall. He's got a couple players on, up to Fewer at the point. He sends it back down hard. It's going to rim around to the near side boards. Whittingham down to Dormer. Dormer sends it back to the other side. Freitas tries to send it up the wall. It kind of gets stuck on the wall, and then Barons clear it. Espirito sends a pass up to neutral ice. Barons coming back the other way. Little back and forth right at the blue line, and now it's going to come to the near side wall to Espirito. He wrangles it in, sends a pass up to Whittingham, leaves it for Dormer. Dormer takes the red line. He's going to chip it in to the far corner. Rest of the Rampage getting a change. Drexel sends it back into the zone, and then Drexel with a poke check is going to drive it down the far boards. Sends it out front looking for Banyan. Doesn't quite connect. Puck comes back to Butler down low. Butler turns, looking for Drexel, goes off of a stick, and now a shot goes into the far corner. Whitted sends it up the boards for Banyan. Turn, unable to get much on it on the clear. Shot taken home, and Shields. You can't force a goaltender to drop the puck and keep playing it. But they just did, so play will continue. Down low into the corner. Whitted and White trying to tie things up. Looks like Barons are going to turn with it. They skate to the far side. I'm still a little confused about what just happened. Shields had it in his glove, and the referee forced him to drop it and continue play. Puck bounces back into the Barons zone. Up the wall on the far side. It hits some sticks and comes through, so play will continue. Bisley sends it to Bennett, up to Flanagan. Comes up and out of the zone. I think they're waving ice off. Play will continue. I think they just want the clock to keep running, because that's what I would have thought would have been icing on Rampage, but it's a weird one today. Cleveland feeds it down low. Puck bouncing around down low, and now they're going to skate it to the near side. Up the wall to the point. Shot from up high. Deflects just wide of the net, and now the net comes off. And the Cleveland player knocked it off, so they're taking the face-off outside the zone, which actually is the right call. 7:06 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Bisley, and Bennett. Back into the Rampage zone. Bisley feeds it up and through. Comes back. It's back into the Rampage zone, low in the corner. Bennett has to go after it. Sends up the boards to the far side. Stuck on the far boards. Foster pushes it up. Cleveland keeps it in the zone. Feeds it down low. It's going to go into the corner on the far side. Cross to the near side. Rahosian gets there, turns in up to Roberts. Roberts makes a move. He's out of the zone and sends it into the Cleveland zone. Cleveland has a puck back. They clear it. They're into the Rampage zone. They were offsides by a mile. And apparently we have a penalty coming to the Rampage as well. I don't know what they called. It was a while back, but I didn't see what it was that was being called. So
10 feet in offsides.
6:21 left in period number 1. Rampage going on the penalty kill for the first time this game. First time this weekend. Rampage penalty kill sponsored by no one at all, because we don't do sponsorships here at Empty Pockets Hockey as opposed to some other teams. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Whitted, White, and Butler. Quick steal by Whittingham. He's going to skate it up and out of the zone. Whittingham pokes it in. He's going to give chase down low. Fed out front, tries to backhand it. Nice hard-working penalty kill so far by Whittingham. Cleveland with it in their own zone. Make a move. They're out of the zone. Through neutral, into the Rampage zone with it. Bouncing around. It's going to come out to the near side wall. Butler clears it. That's going to go the distance. Rampage penalty killers will get a change. And we have, what do we have? We have a penalty on somebody? It does look like we have a penalty on somebody on Cleveland for Slash. So with 5:45 left in period number 1, we'll be 4v4 for the next minute and 24. Out on the ice to start on this 4-man attack, we've got Banyan, Foster, Sarver, and Bennett. Puck goes down into the corner. Cleveland has it. Send it up the wall on the far side. Now across. Cleveland's into the Rampage zone in the near side, stealed by Sarver. He sends it across. Foster's going to pick it up on the far side. He skates up and out of the zone, down the wall. He's into the zone, holds up at the point. Back to Bennett down low. Bennett tries a centering pass. It's bouncing around. Can't get sticks on it. Comes up to the point. Banyan's going to send it down low. Sarber races to the far corner. Cleveland gets there and changes direction. Sarber on the forecheck. Cleveland down low behind their net. I'm sorry, that's Drexel. Drexel comes in. Puck comes up to Banyan. Banyan turns with it. Sends a pass across to Butler. Butler with a shot. Body's in the way. Backhand, and the goaltender makes a save and then falls backwards on it to keep it from going across the line. 4:50 left in period number 1. We've got 29 seconds left of 4v4, followed by what'll be, just about half a minute or so of Rampage power play. Out on the ice to continue our 4v4, we've got Whitted, Drexel, Butler, and Fewer. Puck comes up to Butler at the point. Feeds it through. Goaltender makes a save. Puck goes to the far wall. Cleveland sends it back down low. We're going to change direction. Freitas in on the forecheck now. Pass across goes off of the stick, and Cleveland wrangles it back in. They skate through. 3 seconds left of 4-on-4 time. Player blows a tire, skates to the near side. Butler picks it up. He skates up the wall. Rampage are on the power play for the next little bit. Butler with the shot. Goaltender with a save. It ends up in the far corner. Comes up to Dormer at the point. Feeds it back down the wall for Butler. Butler over to Freitas on the near side point. Freitas makes a quick move. Feeds the puck. Bounces around. Shot. Goaltender gets it. And then another quick shot. Goaltender makes a save. Freitas out front to Whittingham. Another shot. Goaltender with another save. A lot of good opportunities by the Rampage boys just now. And now it bounces out. A quick breakaway for Barons. And a move made. And with 1 second left on the power play, the Barons go up by a score of 1 on a shorthanded goal following an unfortunate bounce that came out of the zone and left a Barons player all by himself. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Espirito, and Fewer. And now Cleveland is back in full strength. Pass across, deflects up, ends up on the near side boards. Espirito clears the zone with it. Sarver's going to pick it up. Skates in, just loses the handle, regains it, takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck goes into the corner. Flanagan down low for Judkins. Tied up down low. Cleveland turns around, coming back the other way. Into zone, offside by a mile, and they've got it. 3:18 left in period number 1. Faceoff will come outside the zone. Out on the ice, we've got Root, Foster, Rahosian, Bennett, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Bisley over to Bennett. Bennett up the wall, off a Rahosian stick. It's into the zone. Foster gives chase down low. Root comes in to try to help out. Tied up in the corner. Barons pick it up. They're going to skate it to the near side. Rahosian gets in the way of that. Doesn't allow him to clear. Rahosian wrangles it back in. Sends it up to the point to Bisley. Bisley sends it. Goes off of a body. Comes back. Bennett has to race. Puck goes to the far side. Into the zone. Bennett on the far side. Sends a pass through the crease to the near wall. Tied up on the near side wall. Barons send it around to the far side. Whitted gets in there, try to tie things up. He's got Root in to help out. A couple of Barons players as well. Puck still tied up on the boards. Comes out. Root's going to wrangle it in. Over to Whitted. Whitted back to Root. Root up to the point. Doesn't connect. It's going to come out of the zone. Play will continue. Shields has to leave it for Butler. Butler wrangles it in. He's going to skate to the far side. Pass fed through, doesn't connect, and that's going to be an icing. So 1:57 left in period number one. Face will come back to the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw. Back to the near side of Butler. Pass out, goes off of a skate, and now bounces in. Drexel picks it up, but Rampage offside. Have to get tagged up. Cleveland with the takeaway. They send it across to the far side. Quick poke check to the near side wall. Back into their own zone with it. Pass comes through, goes off a stick and into the Rampage zone down low. Fewer tries to chip it back into the corner. Cleveland off the boards in the corner, fed out front, nobody home. Banyan picks it up on the far wall. He's going to skate up out of the zone, off the boards. Drexel gets there in the zone, takes a shot, goes back behind, and ends up in the near corner. Cleveland sends it across to the far side. They're into the Rampage zone. Centering pass, shot taken, Shields with a save. Down low. Dormer gets there in the corner, feeds it up to Espirito. Espirito up the boards looking for Drexel, comes up and out of the zone. Cleveland turns around, back into the zone, and Freitas with the takeaway. He's going to turn and skate to the far side. Cleveland sends it up the far side, through neutral, held up at the point, and tied up on the far wall. Whittingham, White, and Freitas were in there. Puck goes down the wall. Bisley ties things up down in the corner on the far side. Puck comes up. Freitas gets tripped on his way up, and we have a penalty coming to Cleveland Barons for interference. 27 seconds left in period number one. Rampage are going to be back in the power play. We have a very sick crew here at Empty Pockets Hockey this weekend, so both of us sound like we have bronchitis or something. I don't know. Anyway, out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Sarver, Whitted, Root, and White. Puck goes into the corner, tied up down low, and then it comes up to White at the point on the far side. Shot, goaltender with the save. Rampage win the draw. Up to White, back down to Starver. Starver to Drexel. Drexel feeds it through to Whitted. Whitted backhand. Goaltender with the save. Puck ends up back behind the net. Comes up to White. White over to Root. Root makes a move at the point. Loses the handle, and now Cleveland's going to clear. Puck comes back the distance, and time expires on period number one. So your score after one is 1-0 in favor of the Cleveland Barons on a very unfortunate shorthanded goal. But the boys look good. They're battling. It's early in the weekend, and I do think things will pick up a little bit. I'm okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. I'm good. Thanks.
I'm not going to hold it all day.
Well, I do. Oh,
In case you get hungry.
thank you.
I mean, I could have let it just drop in front of me. I'll tell you, have you ever had the Starbucks?
All right, folks. Here we get ready to get started for period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Banyan, Freitas, White, and Dormer. Rampage still on the power play for the next minute and a half. Puck gets cleared back into the Rampage zone. White regains behind his net. He's going to regroup and set up. Puck comes back to Dormer, back to White. White skates through. Whittingham wriggles it in. He's into the zone. At the point, and now Barons are going to clear. Shield sends the puck around to the near side boards. Cleveland with the puck, and now Whittingham with the steal. He chips it in, or I'm sorry, this Banyan sends it into the zone. Freitas across, it deflects up and out. 45 seconds left on the power play. Barons with the puck into the Rampage zone. They're going to turn and hold it. They turn, flip it down low into the corner. Butler comes back to pick it up. Behind his net, he's going to regroup. Butler up to Root. Root skates through on the near side. Blows a tire on his way in. Puck down low. Sarver comes in to hold it in the corner. Up the wall. Now Barons are going to turn and fire and clear it. Puck's going to come back. Shields has to play it. Up the near side wall for Drexel. Off the wall. And now goes back, and just 3 seconds left on the power play. Drexel turns with it in his own zone. He's going to make a quick move. He's up to neutral. Into Barron's zone. Bounces across. That was not a hand pass. He didn't actually touch it with his hand. We have a whistle for a hand pass, but Drexel reached for it, but never actually touched it with his hand. 15-18 left in period number 1. Cleveland's back at full strength. The faceoff's going to come outside the zone. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Bennett, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw. Barons come through. Send it down low into the Rampage zone. Bisley up the boards to the far side. Rahosian just misses a tackle. That's right, I said tackle. Bennett sends it up. Roberts clears it off the wall. Rahosian's bouncing on him, and now Cleveland sends it back the other way. They're into the Rampage zone up high. Puck goes down low into the corner. Bennett sends it up the boards. Shot goes off a body, bounces up to the blue line. Barons send it down low. Tied up down low in the corner. Bouncing around. It looks like Foster gets there up to Rahosian now. Rahosian flips it way up in the air. It's into the zone. It's going to be on. Oh, it wasn't on net. It was just wide, so we get a whistle for icing. Face-off back in the Rampage zone with 14-14 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we have Flanagan, Sarver, Judkins, White, and Fewer. Tied up on the draw. Sarver wrangles it in, clears the zone, and now Cleveland coming back the other way. Down low, Judkins picks it up, sends it to the near side, looking for White. White poke checks it. It's out to neutral. Sarver picks it up. He's into the zone. Sarver tries to feed it across. Cleveland makes a nice defensive play. Puck still down low. It's back behind the net. Judkins looking out front. Ends up back behind the net. Sarver tries to feed it back the other way. Barron skate to the near side and send the stretch pass across to Espirito. Pass back across. Barron's into the zone. Quick shot. Shields with the save. It's going to come up to the point. Another shot. Body's in the way. Unable to clear. And now it comes out to neutral ice. And it gets tipped into the Cleveland zone. Freitas is down low in the corner, tying things up on the far side. Whittingham comes in to help out. Whittingham tries to pull it off the wall, bouncing around, and now Cleveland pokes it up to the blue line where Trent White sends it back into the far corner. Whittingham behind the net, centers the pass, comes all the way up to the blue line of Butler. Butler takes a shot, goes off of a body, comes back to him. Butler feeds a shot through, goaltender makes a save. And Friedis picks it up back behind. Oh, looking for Whittingham on the back door. It was kind of getting held up. Butler skates it down low. Butler skates to the near side. Feeds it through to, that was a nice pass and a shot. So that was Friedis to, was that Butler? Butler to Dormer with 12:33 left in period number 2. Rampage make the score 1-1.
Good patience there, boys.
Butler with a nice patient wait, hold, look, and finds Dormer on the back door, and Rampage get on the board for the first time this weekend. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, Isley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw all the way back into their own zone. Bennett sends it across to Bisley, up the wall looking for Drexel. Drexel pulls it off the wall and then fires it for Whitted. Whitted to Banyan. Banyan tries to feed it back through, skates in the way. Puck up the far corner, still in the zone for now. Now it's out and into the Rampage zone. Up to the far side, pass out front, bodies in the way, and now Whitted up to Banyan. Gets poke check back down low, and Bennett sends it up, and Banyan's going to clear, and that is going to be icing. 11:53 left in period number 2. Fresh crew out on the ice. We've got Foster, Rahosian, Roberts, Bennett, and Bisley. Down low into the corner. Back to Foster, who's going to turn and skate up the near side wall. It's poked again, back down low. Centering pass out front, doesn't connect, comes up to the blue line. Barons keep it in. Send it back down the near side wall into the corner. Bennett's in there to tie things up. Up the wall, up to the point. Barons take a shot, skates in the way, and then Shields is going to shovel it to the far side corner. Foster turns, he's going to fire, and that one goes on net, so play will continue. Rampage getting a quick change of defenseman. Puck back into the Rampage zone. Rahosian turns with it. Backhands it up and out to neutral. Back into the Rampage zone. Quick move made. Puck down low, goes off of a skate, and now it's going to come out. Root gets a stick on it. He wrangles it in. He's skating through. Quick move. Shot goes up and over, ends up on the far wall. Sarver pinches on the far wall. And then Judkins is going to backhand it down low. Cleveland sends it up the wall and now out. Big hit by Esperito. Puck gets sent into the near side corner. A couple of Rampage players getting a change. Cleveland sends it up the boards, just comes out of the zone. Judkins turns and fires it into the zone. Whittingham's going after it down low on the far side. Up to Root. Root takes a shot, doesn't get much on it. Dormer on the near side wall feeds it down. Rims around to the far side. Cleveland with it. Gets tied up down low. We've got Friedis and Dormer in there doing battle up against the wall, and 3 Cleveland players. It's going to come up to White in the way of the shot attempt, and now he backhands it wide of the net. Friedis down low looking for Dormer. Comes up to Drexel on the near side. Rampage are going to be on the power play again here pretty soon. Drexel feeds it across to White at the far point to Whitted, and then it gets poke checked up and out. And Rampage will be on the power play with 9:32 left in period number 2. Out on the ice to get us started on the power play. We've got Sarver, Drexel, Whitted, Root, and Butler. Rampage win the draw up to Root at the point. Down the near side wall, gets poke checked. And now it's going to bounce across to the far side, and Barons pick it up. They're through into the Rampage zone on the far side. Drexel picks it up on the far side, tosses the pass across for Sarver. Sarver skates into the zone, drops it for Drexel. Drexel feeds it through. Nice deflection, and the goaltender with the save. We get some extracurriculars for no reason whatsoever, other than the fact that Cleveland Barons players are a bunch of schmucks. 1:35 left on the power play, 9:06 left in the period. And we'll get a change in the power play unit. We've got Banyan, Friedis, Whittingham, Dormer, and White. Puck comes up to the point. White feeds it back down the wall. Whittingham wrangles it in. Turns with it on the wall. Down low for Friedis. Friedis back to Whittingham. Whittingham over for Banyan on the near side. Banyan up to Dormer at the point. Dormer feeds it through to Friedis. Friedis takes his shot, body's in the way, and now Barons are going to clear it up and out. They're getting a change of penalty killers, and White turns with it in his own zone. Feeds it up for Banyan on the near side. Drops it for Dormer. Dormer's into the zone to White. White sends it across, and Friedis has to come back for it. Sends it down the wall, and Barons are going to clear it. 51 seconds left on the power play for the Rampage boys. White picks it up behind the net. He's letting the Rampage boys get a change. He's going to regroup. Skates out from behind the net. Feeds it up to Whitted. Bouncing on him. It's into the zone. Sarver gets there, gets a stick on it, and it gets swiped in a low corner. Root almost gets a stick on it, and now it's going to come up and out. Barron skating back into the Rampage zone. Puck goes just behind the net. Quick steal, gets fed right back out front. Shot deflected up and over. I don't like playing in this zone when we're on the power play, and the puck gets stuck on top of the back of the net. And with that, we will go to an ice cut. So 7:39 left in period number 2. When we come back, the faceoff will be in the Rampage zone, and 8 seconds left on the Rampage power play. I am going to go on mute for the next little bit. We'll see you guys back in about 10 minutes or so. All right, folks, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of the second period. We should, I believe, have a face-off in the Rampage zone. Currently 8 seconds left on the power play for the Rampage boys. Doubtful that we'll be able to make much of that, given we're starting in our own zone, I think. But out on the ice to get us started, we've got Freitas, Dormer, Whittingham. I don't see our defenseman. Oh, there we go. We got Butler and White. And, of course, Ryder Shields in net. Puck comes up to the point. Sent back down low. Dormer's going to send it around for Butler. Butler wrangles it in down low, up the wall. Off of his stick. It's going to come back to White, just off his stick into the Barons zone. Barons send up the boards on the near side. Up but not out. Dormer sends it back in. Freitas drops it down low. Barons pick it up behind the net. Still stuck in the corner. It's going to get poked down low. Hit it out front. Hits Freitas. Freitas, feeds it out front. It bounced towards the goaltender. And now the puck gets cleared to the far wall. Across to the near side. Barons into the zone at the point. Quick shot from the blue line. Bisley gets a body in the way. Puck down low. It comes out. Whitted wrangles it in. Sends the pass across. Up and out. Doesn't connect. And now Barons are going to dump it in. Butler sends it around to Bisley on the near side. Up the wall. Looking for Drexel. Drexel chips it up and out of the zone. Barons back into the Rampage zone. Shot. Shields with the save. He's going to drop it for Bisley. Up to Drexel on the far side. Drexel to Banyan. A little back and forth, and now Judkins is going to backhand it into the zone. Drexel goes after it down low. Judkins tries to pull it out of the corner. Bounces out front. It's going to come up and out of the zone into the Rampage zone on the far side. Barons room it around to the near side boards. Up to the blue line. Shot goes wide of the net. Puck gets stuck on the sticky ice. And a quick shot. And Shields with the save. It's bouncing around. Ends up wide of the net and behind. Bennett sends it off the glass. It's going to come down and through. Flanagan's going to give it chase. Play will continue. Flanagan gets there. Ties things up down low. Sarver comes in to help out as well. Puck up the near side boards. Barons pick it up. They're going to skate it up and out. Off the wall to the far side, and Barons are offside. 5:24 left in period number 2. We'll get a face-off just outside the Rampage. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Root. Nope, sorry, we've got 6 players on the ice. So we've got Roberts, Root, Rahosian, Espirito, and White. Puck back into the zone. Rahosian pulls it from behind the net. Puck bounces out. Bouncing around, and then Barons clear it. Root sends it across and through. Espirito has to skate back into the zone to get it. He's got a man on. Barons pull it off the wall, feed the pass through. It ends up in the near corner. White blows the tire on his way up the wall. Roberts ties things up down low in the corner. Roberts picks it up. Ice is sticky. Back to White, up to Root. And now Root's going to dump it in and go for a change. Barons clear it to the far wall. Up and out of the zone. Butler's got it neutral ice. Up to Dormer. Dormer tries to feed it in the zone. White sends it to Whittingham, over to Freitas. Centering pass, looking for Dormer. And he didn't get much on it, and then it rolled through the crease and wide. It was a really, really good look back behind on the back door. And I remember this from last time. Cleveland goaltender checking his hair, taking his mask off for a minute and a half in between plays. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, Bennett, and Bisley. Whitted takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck comes out to the near side. Poke down low. Near side wall. Whitted sends it down. Barons regroup behind their net. Up the far side wall. Up and out. Whitted turns around with it at neutral ice. Skates to the near side. Into the zone. Leaves it for Drexel. Quick poke check, and the Barons send it back and out to neutral. Bisley turns. He's going to dump it in. Puck to the near side. Rampage get a change. Barons send it up the near side wall. Into the Rampage zone on the near side. Shot deflects, ends up in the far corner. Whittingham sends it up, goes off a stick. It's going to go the distance. Play will continue. It went, I thought so too. He had his hand up in the air, but it sounded like he was saying no. And it very clearly went off the Barons' stick. 3:25 left in period number 2. We're going to face off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Sarver, Judkins, Espirito, and Fewer. Poke checked up and out of the zone. Barons regroup. Send across to the near side. Over to Espirito. Espirito turns. He clears. That doesn't connect, and there's no icing. Play will continue. Yep. He could have got there, but chose not to. Puck down low in the corner. Sent up to the near side. It's going to come up and out of the zone. Fewer wrangles it in. Sends it across to Espirito. Espirito up the wall. Doesn't connect. Play will continue. To Flanagan on the near side. Centering pass. Comes back to Flanagan. Centering pass. Bounces out front. The net is off by a mile. Quick shot goes wide of the net. Judkins up looking for Flanagan and doesn't connect. We get a whistle for icing. We have a stoppage. And 2:35 left in period number 2. Face off in the Rampage zone. We've got Foster, White, Roberts, Rahosian, and Bennett on the ice. Or I'm sorry, Butler on the ice. Butler over to Rahosian. Puck gets sent back down low. Butler gets there. Back into the corner. Barons feed it up to the point. Shot ends up wide and in the near side. Roberts off the wall, out of the zone. Quick takeaway, and now Roberts to Rahosian. Rahosian makes a move into the zone. Barons have the puck back. Into the Rampage zone. Quick shot. Stick on it. Shields makes a save. Puck ends up on the near side wall. Shot from the point gets redirected just wide of the net. Puck goes to the far side. Rahosian's going to turn and clear it. That'll be icing. But not a bad idea. Rampage get a change. 1:36 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Dormer, Friedis, Bennett, and Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Bisley over to Bennett on the near side. Bennett looks, sauce pass, doesn't connect, and that's going to be icing. It was a good look, good idea, just didn't quite connect. 1:29 left in period number 2. Face-off's going to be back in the Rampage zone. Same crew out as before. Rampage win the draw. Over to Bisley on the far side, up the wall. Unable to clear. Still bouncing around, and now Dormer's going to clear to Friedis. Friedis is in the zone. Puck comes to Whittingham. Whittingham drives down low, backhands it through the crease. Bisley feeds it, and Freitas gets pushed from behind into the back of the net. Tied up on the near side wall. Comes up to Freitas. Freitas turns, fires a shot. Whittingham, just can't quite get a stick there. Back to Whittingham on the far side. Makes a move at the blue line. The near side feeds a puck through. Goaltender with the save. Backhands it over to Freitas from behind. Tries to feed it out front, and the net. That net has been awful for both teams today. It's like there are no pegs at all. It's just free floating out there. This stoppage sponsored by Cleveland Barons Hair Gel, advertised by their goaltender. Puck comes up to the near side, ends up back down low. Barons feed it back behind the net. They're going to skate to the far side, up the wall on the far side. Just out, puck goes back in. Root gets tripped on the way. Barons send it the distance, and that will be icing.
Oh my. Settle down there. Settle down.
No, let him.
Maybe that'll help.
Let him get angry.
Yeah, exactly.
I want him to get angry. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Root, Fewer, and Espirito.
Obviously, you can get in it.
Rampage win the draw. Quick shot by Root, goes off a body and ends up on the near wall. And Barons clear it up into the netting and out of play. So with 16.8 seconds left in period number 2, we'll get a face-off in the Barons zone. One mo, just like the foe. Same crew out. Quick poke check. Whitted feeds it. Out front, goes off a stick. Whitted takes a bad hit into the boards, and he's hurting. He's going to take a minute to get up. No hands in the air. Puck's going to come up and out of the zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Root, Espirito, and Fewer. 13 seconds on the clock. Puck down low. Banyan wrangles it in. Sauces the pass across. Doesn't connect. Just way too much on it. Comes up and out. Gets sent. Fewer gets boots in the way. Puck comes back out and is cleared in. And time expires on period number 2.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Maybe you should try to do it. Delay a game on you.
17 minutes up on the board for period number 3. Your score after 2 is 1-1 in favor of no one. And I think we've got a penalty come into the Rampage to start period number 3. It looks like there's a little bit of a late hit right at the buzzer. I think it was Root. That was the only thing I saw is right at the buzzer. He came in and hit a kid like kind of right just after it was late, a little after the buzzer. Their puck was nowhere there, so there are a couple of things I think they could have called. It wasn't egregious, and I would have liked to see a hand in the air with, yeah. But regardless, Rampage are going to start period number 3 on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started on the PK. We've got, what do we have? We've got Whitted, Whittingham, White, and Butler. Barons win the draw. Whittingham with the poke check. Puck still at neutral ice. Barons reset in their zone. Across to the near side, they're into the Rampage zone down low. The shot goes wide of the net, and now it gets sent up the far wall, but not out. Barons at the point, feed it down the far wall up to the blue line. Center the puck to the slot. Up to the center on the blue line, out to the circle. Shot, body's in the way, and then lost sight of it, and the Barons player picks it up in the circle. And with 16:21 left in period number 3, Barons go up by a score of 2-1 on a power play goal. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Bisley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw. Bennett wrangles it in his own zone. Sends it up the boards to the far side. It comes through. Play will continue. Sarver's going to get there first. Puck tied up down low in the corner. Barons are going to skate it up and out on the near side into the Rampage zone. Quick move shot. Shields with the save. Puck goes down low. Fed up the boards to Sarver on the near side. Comes back to Judkins. He wrangles it in. Takes a shot from up high. Goes just wide of the net. Puck ends up on the far wall. Held in at the point. Down low. Sarver tries to wrangle it in. Puck goes to the wall again. Barons send it down low, up and out. It doesn't connect, and this should be icing. Is indeed 15:35. We'll get a face-off in the Barons zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Espirito, and Fewer. Puck down low in the corner. Barons send it up into the netting and out of play, so we'll get another face-off in the Barons zone. Rampage win the draw. Quick shot by Banyan off some bodies and wide of the net. Puck down low. Sent up and across. Fewer comes back for it. Sends it up the boards just out of the zone. Banyan skates it off the boards, and now a little back and forth. Whitted tries to pick it up. Barons wrangle the puck back in, send it back into their own zone. Cross to the far side. Off of a skate up and out of the zone. Barons send it back in, but they have to tag up. Shields is going to leave it for Fewer. Fewer has a little bit of time. Sends it up off of Drexel's stick. Barons send it across. They're into the Rampage zone on the near side. Pass across. Nice save by Ryder Shields. 14:47 left in period number 3. We'll get another face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we got Roberts, Foster, Root, Butler, and White. Barons win the draw. Shot taken, body's in the way. Wrangled it in, another shot saved by Shields. Puck up the near side wall, held in the zone. Comes back down low. White's going to come back for it. Skates to the far side, feeds it up the far wall. Roberts chips it up and out of the zone. Change of direction to Roberts. Roberts turns, sends it across, bouncing around way in the air. Foster tries to headbutt it, and I think it ends up in the corner. At least that's what it looked like. Up and out of the zone now. White's going to chip it back the other way. Root carries it in. Reverse check. Roberts picks it up. Shot. Goaltender turns it. Goes up into the netting and out of play. So with 13:55 left in period number 3, we'll get a face-off in the Baron zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck up to the point, held in. Whittingham pulls it off the wall, turns, fires it wide of the net, ends up on the near side wall. Dormer's going to pick it up. Regains the puck, back behind the net. Dormer tries to feed it out front, goes off the side of the net into the corner. Freitas comes in, keeps it in play down low. Centers the pass, nobody home. To the near side wall, Barons regroup. Center around to the far side. Freitas picks it off the wall, makes a quick move, tries to feed it down low for Dormer. Dormer centers the pass, it ends up behind the net. And it comes bouncing around out front, goes off of Freitas' back into the goaltender and catches it in his glove. 13:18 left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Baron zone. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Sarver, Flanagan, Fewer, and Espirito. Puck down low into the corner. Barons get there. Skated across to the far side, up to neutral. Turnaround by Flanagan. Chips it back into the zone. Barons send it up to the near side. Into the Rampage zone. Sauce pass across. Quick shot. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on to it. 13:01 left in period number 3. And looks like we'll get a change of defensemen. So we've got White and Butler coming out to join Sarver, Judkins, and Flanagan. Comes up top, but not out of the zone. And now Sarver gets a body in the way. Sarver gets headlocked down to the ice. Barron's back in the zone. Shot taken, Shields with the save. Comes back to Butler. Butler makes a move. Feeds it across, looking for Flanagan just outside the reach. And we just can't quite get there. So we get a whistle, icing, and faceoff's going to come back to the Rampage zone. 12:42 left in period number 3. And to be really clear, the net's really bad at both sides of the ice. This end is worse than that end. I agree. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Whitted, Drexel, White, and Butler. Puck comes to White, to Butler. Butler sends it up the wall for Drexel. Drexel turns with it. He's into the zone. Tries to feed it down low. Sticks in the way. Now Drexel has to regain on the wall. He turns, send it down low. Banyan gets there behind the net. He's got a player on. Bouncing around. It bounced toward the goaltender and ends up behind. Drexel picks it up. Skates to the near side. Tries to dump it back. Barons have the puck. They send it up and out into the Rampage zone on the far side. White separates the player from the puck. He's going to kick it up the wall. Barron's able to hold it in. Butler has to pick it up. Back behind the net. Skates to the near side. Off the wall, looking for Drexel. Drexel across to Whitted. And Rampage are offside. 11:50 left in period number 3. And it appears that we have a piece of equipment on the ice. Can't tell what it is. Out on the ice, we've got Foster, Rahosian, Espirito, and Fewer. Tied up on the draw, and Rahosian's going to skate into the zone with it. Barons send it back behind their own net, up the near side. Into the zone, offside. So we get a stoppage. 11:35. Face-off will be outside the Rampage zone. Same crew out as before. We've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Espirito, and Fewer. Face-off's going to come out to the center dot. Barons win the draw back into their own zone. Send a pass across to the near side, into the Rampage zone, in the near wall. Tied up in the corner. Barons player is going to wrangle it in, skates to the far side, sends it up to the point, not out. Cross to the circle, shot, and it deflects off the stick, and now it's going to get sent around the boards to the near side. Rahosian's got it tied up on the wall. A couple of Barons players there as well. Comes to a Barons player on the near side wall still. They make a move, feed it back down low to the far side. Up to the point. Barons feed it across to the near side. Back across, goes off a skate, but Barons are going to regain the puck. They feed it, ends up in the near side corner. Bounces, all kinds of crazy. Puck ends up back behind. Fewer gets there. He's going to clear it. Bounces out, comes to Roberts, just can't quite wrangle it in. It's in the skates. Rampage get one or two players changed. Centering pass. Whittingham's going to get there. He turns with it, stretches the pass across, looking for Dormer. Dormer poke checks it into the zone. Barons turn it, but can't get it out. Freitas holds it at the blue line. Puck down low to Dormer. Dormer centers the pass. Goaltender makes a save. Now it's going to bounce out front. Barons clear it. Look, and they are.
Yeah, nice ball. Good catch, guys.
So with 10:03 left in period number 3, Rampage are going to go on the power play based on a 2 mini-men on the ice penalty to the Cleveland Barons. Out on the ice to get us started on this power play, we've got Freitas, Whittingham, Dormer, Banyan, and White. This Rampage power play is sponsored by the Omaha Mastery live stream. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Dormer has to come back for it. He's got a player on. Quick poke check sends it out of the zone, but it's going to get sent in down low. White picks it up. Up the wall to the near side to Freitas. Off the wall to White. Comes up and out, and quick steal. Puck comes off the wall. Quick shot, and Shields has to make a save. Another short-handed save attempt. Dormer's going to regain his composure behind the net. Out to White. White comes through the neutral zone to the far side. Quick shot. It's going to go wide of the net to Banyan. Banyan ties things up down low. Freitas comes in to help out. White's going to come to the bench for a change. Puck still tied up down low in the corner. It's going to end up back behind the Barons net. Barons player gets there. They're going to turn and send it the entire way. Shields stops it. He's going to play it up to Root. Root's going to turn with it and take a second to set up. Skates from behind the net. Sends it up the wall, and now it's into the zone. Barons get there, send it around the boards to the far side, and Whitted keeps it in the zone, comes back up to Whitted at the point, feeds it down low off the Sarver stick. Sarver goes after it, back behind the net. Barons player gets there. Whitted knocks that one down. Whitted gets tied up in the corner. It's still tied up down low in the corner, and now Barons send it up to the point. Butler knocks it out of the air, skates across the blue line over to Root. Back to Butler, across off the wall to Drexel. Drexel turns with it. Quick shot. Goaltender makes a save. Root picks it up on the near side. Sauces it. Goes off a helmet. Comes up and out. Root turns with it at neutral ice. Drexel picks it up back in his zone. Back behind the net. Drexel's going to skate to the far side. Up and out. Through and into the Barons zone. Drexel skates down low, holds up at the corner, feeds it back behind him, looking for Sarver. Puck comes up the near side wall. Barons have it. And Barons are back at full strength now. Puck down low into the Rampage zone. Bisley does battle, tries to tie things up down low. Quick stick, and Bisley's going to regain it and backhand it for Judkins. Judkins is through. feeds it through on net. The goaltender is going to cover it up. And we get some pushing and shoving after the whistle, which is starting to become the norm. 7:27 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Foster, Flanagan, Bisley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw. Bisley sends it down for Judkins. Judkins up the wall. Bisley's going to send it back down again. Puck still down low. Tied up down low. Barons regain the puck. They're going to send it across the far side. Up and out. And stick was lifted, so play will continue. Bisley has to race back for it. Chips it across the far side. Over to Foster on the near side. Foster turns with it. Skates it. Feeds it through. Back to Bennett. Bennett back the other way. Chips it into the zone. And the Barons have the puck. Into the Rampage zone on the far side. Puck down low into the corner. Up the boards on the near side to Whittingham. Whittingham's out of the zone. Feeds it over for Dormer. Rampage are offside, so Dormer waits to hold and tag up. Puck comes across looking for Freitas. It bounces back, and Whittingham wrangles it in. Jack Whittingham! 6:21 left in period number 3. Jack Whittingham takes a hard-fought battle at neutral ice that ends up in a fairly fortunate bounce out front and buries the puck, tying the score 2-2. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Whitted, Banyan, Esperito, Fewer, and 6:21 left on the clock. Tied up on the draw. Rampage send it back into their own zone. Esperito has to race back for it. Sends it up the boards on the near side. Kept down low in the corner. Fewer has to go back for it. Tries to chip it the other direction, and Barons send it off the side of the net. It's back behind. Puck bounces out into the far corner, up the boards. Banyan tries to wrangle it in, sends it back down low. Whitted feeds it up to Banyan. Banyan's going to skate through now. Banyan's into the zone on the near side to Whitted out front. Gets his stick hooked at the last minute. And the puck's going to come back out to neutral. Butler over to White. White's going to skate up the far side, up the wall. Shot on net. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. .5:30 left in the game. Face off in the Baron zone. Out on the ice, we've got Judkins, Flanagan, Sarver, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw up to White of the point. Shot ends up in the near corner. Flanagan tying things up down low. Barons regain the puck. Feed it back behind their net. Judkins gets in there, keeps the puck down low in the corner. Sarver comes in to help out. Barons send it up the far wall. Poke check by Flanagan, keeps it in, and comes back to a Barons player. Goes off of a skate, ends up back behind the Barons net. Sarver in on the forecheck, ties things up in the corner. Judkins gets in there as well. Now the Barons are going to skate and chip it up to neutral ice. And then Judkins is going to backhand it back into the zone. Barons send it to the near side. Clear it up and out and through, and I think, and yes, indeed, we do get whistle for icing. 4:40 left in period number 3. Face off in the Baron zone. On the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Root, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck comes up to Root, shot taking goaltender with a save. Barron's coming back the other way. into the Rampage zone, rims around in the near side boards, up the wall, out to Root. Root's going to skate through. Quick poke check. Back to a Barons player. They send it up to the far side and sweep it ever so gently into the zone. Puck around the board to the near side. Barons recollect the puck up to the blue line, sent across to the far wall. Quick steal by Bisley, unable to clear it, and now he does. Comes up and out. Barons are going to get there first. They turn around. Bisley knocks it out of the air. He's going to chip it in. Rampage getting a change. Dormer in on the forecheck. Whittingham in on the forecheck. Puck comes up the boards on the near side. Barons clear into the Rampage zone. And a poke check, and then Butler's going to pick up the puck. Backhands it up and through, and it doesn't connect. And so we get a whistle for icing. 3:31 left in period number 3. The face-off back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we got, looks like we're going to get a change. So we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted to join Butler and White. And the linesman talking crap to the coach. And we've got Foster coming out to take the draw. Barons up to the blue line, send the puck just wide. Goes to the far side, the net's off again. I can see it moving every time Ryder has to make a move. Puck tied up down low. It's going to come up top over to Drexel. Drexel's going to skate up and out of the zone. Across the red line. Feeds it through wide of the net. And White's going to dump it. Puck tied up down low. Barons skate to the far side. Feed it up the far wall. Puck down low. Goes off a stick and wide of the net. Back behind the net. Bennett gets there. He's going to send it up the near side wall. Drexel's going to clear it. Play will continue, and Rampage getting a change. And we've got some pushing and shoving coming back to the bench. Barons send it up the near side. Bisley gets there down low, feeds it across for Bennett on the far side. Bennett kicks it up the wall. Freitas tries to turn it, stuck on the far wall now. Dormer's in to help out. Just about 2 minutes left in the game. Pass up and out. Across, Shields with a save. Fed up. Bisley picks it up. Bisley skating through. He's in the zone. Bisley sends it into the far corner. Whittingham backhands it. Back behind. Puck comes up to the near side. Barons feed it through. Little back and forth at neutral. Now Dormer has it. He's going to send it across, and Rampage are offside. 1:27 left in the period. Face-off will be outside the Barons zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Butler, and White. Puck down low, into the corner. Judkins doing battle down low. Butler's going to pick it up. Skates to the far side. Up the wall for Flanagan. Flanagan turns with it. Flanagan into the zone, and Rampage are just a touch offside. 1:02 left in the game. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Banyan, Whitted, Bisley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw. Bennett's going to dump it into the zone. Barons with it behind their net. Skate up and out, send it across to the far side, into the zone. It's poked down into the corner. Whitted turns with it to the near side, makes a move, sends it up to Banyan. Banyan off the wall for Bennett. Bennett to Bisley. Bisley's into the Baron zone. Skates down low, feeds it off the side of the net, and now we get a stoppage. 32 seconds left in the game. We'll get a face-off in the Baron zone. And we'll get a change. So we've got Whittingham, Friedis, Dormer, Butler, and White. 32 seconds left. Dormer goes off a stick. It's going to come back. Butler's got to hurry. He's got a player there. Butler gets there first. Sends it up, looking for Dormer. Goes off a stick and comes through. Play will continue. Whittingham's going to chase it down low. Back behind the net. It's going to go to the far corner. Barron skated up and out of the zone on the far side. Back into the zone to Butler. 7 seconds left. Butler's going to send it. Goes off a skate and into the zone. And time will expire on the period. So the score after 3 is all tied up, 2-2. And I haven't read the tournament rules, but we will go into an overtime of some kind. And we've got 5 minutes up on the board, so my guess is a 5-minute 3v3 instant death, sudden death overtime. Instant death sounds cooler. We'll swap sides, so it'll be same sides of the ice as in the second period. At least that's everything that I'm gathering based on what I'm seeing. Rampage had some good opportunities towards the end there, but so did Cleveland. There's a little bit of broadcaster privilege that goes along with being able to say what we want to say. Out on the ice to get us started for this overtime period, we have Whitted, Drexel, and White. And, of course, Ryder Shields in net. I hate overtime. I'm not nearly awake or drunk enough for overtime this morning. Drexel with the steal. He's going to push it down into the corner. And Barons with the takeaway down low. Barons are going to regroup behind their net. Barons holding up behind their net. Quick loss of the puck at neutral ice, and now Barons are going to regroup. They're back into the Rampage zone. Quick move. Puck ends up in the near side corner. White picks it up. It's going to drop it back for Whitted behind the net. Whitted regroups behind the net. We got Whittingham coming in to join the group. Whittingham picks it up behind. Stretch pass up, looking for Trent White. Oh, it just goes off of his stick. He had some space. Barons come through. Neutral zone to the far side. Send it up the wall. Doesn't connect, and now they're going to poke it back down the wall on the far side. Barons skated off the wall. Turn, look, feed it through. Unable to get a stick on it. Thank goodness. Butler has the puck. He's going to send it across for Whittingham. Whittingham's back in. Quick shot goes up and over. Ends up in the near corner. Barron's coming back the other way. Butler with a nice poke check to slow the advance. And now Whittingham's going to send the puck back to Friedis in his zone. A couple of Rampage players getting changed. Friedis sets up behind his net. 3:24 left in overtime. Bennett picks it up. He's going to skate to the near side. Bennett up the near side wall. He's into the zone. Quick move, shot taking. Goaltender makes a save. Bennett reflects. Sends it back for Dormer. Dormer turns to the top of the circle. Dormer with the shot. That one goes just wide, ends up on the back of the net. And now Barons have the puck. They're coming back the other way. Send it across to the near side. Up to the point. They're going to skate out to neutral and regroup. 2:43 left in overtime. Barons send it out to the far side, into the Rampage zone. Shot taken, Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. We'll get a face-off in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Root, and Bisley. Barons win the draw, pass across, out in the slot, move made, Shields with the save, up to the top of the circle. Root tying things up, back down behind. Barons still with the puck. Send it up top into the slot. Shot goes off a Whitted skate. Barons player regroups, recollects the puck. Top of the circle, Whitted gets in the way of that one. And now a quick move, and Shields with the save. Nice save by Ryder Shields, just in the nick of time. 2:01 left in overtime. We'll get 3 fresh skaters out on the ice. We've got Freitas, Whittingham, and White. Barons win the draw. Skate to the far corner. Fed down low. Quick move out front. Quick shot. Shields with the save. He's got that one in his glove. Entirely too much pressure at our end of the ice for my liking. 1:44 left in overtime. And looks like we'll get a couple of fresh skaters out. We've got Foster and Drexel out to join Trent White. Rampage win it. Trent gets tripped up, but now the Barons recollect the puck. They're going to skate all the way back into their zone. Foster applying pressure on the forecheck. Barons skate to the near side. Through neutral into the Rampage zone. Up to the point. Out to the far wall. Cross to the high slot. Quick move out front, and puck. Barons recollect on the far side, and now White is going to poke check and take the puck away. White's going to regroup behind his net. Sends a stretch pass out for Foster. Foster into the zone. He's got a player on. Gets pulled down and ridden into the goaltender. And that should be a penalty shot as he had a step.
Penalty shot all day. Did they not call a penalty? Did they not even call a penalty?
No penalty called. 51 seconds left in overtime. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Banyan, and Butler. Apparently you can be pulled down from behind, ridden into your own goal. No penalty called. I concur. I think that should have been a penalty shot, and I would have loved to see that.
Aaron is saying strongly disagree right now.
That's right. Rampage win the draw. Comes up to Banyan. Banyan sends it back down the wall, and now Barons are going to recollect the puck. They're back behind their net. Skate out to the far side. Barons through neutral into the Rampage zone. It's poked up to the point. Comes out to neutral. Barons regroup. They skate to the far side. Up to the point. It's going to come out of the zone. Barons regroup. 18 seconds left in overtime. Barons skate to the far side. Quick move. Down low into the corner. They're going to send it up to the point again. Shot. Shields with the save. He's going to hang on. We'll get another face-off in the Rampage zone with 6.9 seconds left in overtime. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Freitas, and Butler. Into the corner. Far wall. Freitas is going to send it back down, and time will expire on overtime. So we're still all tied up after the overtime period. And my assumption is it will be a typical shootout format.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Our goaltenders have switched sides back again. It looks like Whitted's up first. And Whitted scores. He's going to put that one in. All right, Barons to go. Shields set up. Shields with the stop. Mason Root up next. Root with the shot. Barons with the save. Barons up. Ryder, goes off the post. Counts as a save. Whittingham up. Whittingham makes a shot. That's going to win the game. Rampage win in a very exciting shootout. That was Jack Whittingham's second of the game. And in this humble announcer's opinion, that makes him the player of the game. And the most enjoyable thing I've seen so far today is the Barons goaltender losing his absolute mind and immediately leaving the ice, not doing the handshake line, which is pretty bad sportsmanship. Rampage, congratulations with the shootout win. Hopefully they'll pick up some momentum. I think we have a whole lot more to give after what I saw this morning, and I'm just very excited at how they battled this team, and especially excited them coming away with a win. Thanks, everybody. We will see you later tonight at, 7:15 Eastern time. So 5:15 back in Colorado. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.